And then the second naked lady says to the first naked lady, well, I didn't know he could play the violin. I've always loved that one. Oh,
when Trump tweets about Chicago and he says that there were 228 shootings in 2017 and 42 killings, up 24% from 2016, that is true. But I don't think he is addressing the real problem, which is we need to reduce gun violence.
Those of you who just got here, looks like you're just in time.
Gutierrez issued this statement. He said, when the president wants to work with states and localities on public policies to reduce gun violence, he will find partners in cities like Chicago.
Yeah, in Chicago, a city with one of the strictest gun control laws in the country. And they have a lot of gun violence there. Do the math, idiots.
We need to start talking about, instead of carnage, real policies that reduce gun violence.
Well, they believe...
Like more citizens owning guns? Because that's the only thing that's been shown to do it.
They believe the more guns you have, the less violence you'll have. That's what they believe.
Because it's true.
On that side.
And this former federal prosecutor will tell you it's not true.
It is true. Look at the statistics. Yeah, federal prosecutor. I'm really going to listen to a federal prosecutor on this issue.
You're arming people who are law-abiding citizens, and those people who have guns that are criminals are going to get them anyway, and you want people who are law-abiding citizens to be able to counter criminals. Chicago has the strictest gun control laws, some of the strictest gun control laws in the country, and they have a ton of gun violence.
Hey, one of them's not an idiot. What do you know?
So you agree with that?
I'm a pro-Second Amendment girl. If you're a law-abiding citizen and you make it through your background checks, I want you to be able to
go. Well, that's the key. Just background checks.
Oh, boy, background checks. There's always a catch. There had to be something she was stupid about.
If we're trying to do background checks on people who may be mentally challenged...
Oh, boy, you're gonna make me point it out again, aren't you? People with mental deficiencies are no more likely to engage in violent acts than the general population. In fact, a lot of them are a lot less likely to. But they are 3 times as likely to become victims of violence. So, great job. You want to disarm a lot of victims. Hope you feel proud.
If you're complaining about it, he said, then I'm going to assume that you're mentally challenged or you got a criminal background. Yeah. You have no reason not to accept a background check.
Yeah.
Ever.
No reason? Okay, I got your reason right here. Let's say you've got a woman who has a problem with an ex-husband or ex-boyfriend who doesn't know the meaning of the word restraining order. He's stalking her, he's threatening her, so she goes to get a gun to protect herself. But guess what? She fails a background check because one time in college, she was arrested for smoking a doobie. Now she can't get her gun, and that night, her ex breaks into her house and kills her. There's a good reason right there.
On the other side of this is one of Donald's sons, Hans or Fritz, I don't know which one it is.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Believes that not only should everybody have a gun, but they should all have a silencer on their guns. Now, if you're at the airport and you're on level 2 and there's a gunfight on level 1, you should be able to hear that so that you can get the hell out of there. So on top of all this, they want to put a silencer on. Now that is when you want to kill somebody and you don't want anybody to hear you.
Oh, for crying out loud. See, this is what I keep talking about with Second Amendment people. They don't even know the basics of what they're talking about. Folks, there is no such thing as a silencer. That's the thing you see in the movies, where it makes the gun not have a noise. In the real world, the thing you screw on the end of a gun is called a suppressor. And the idea is that you're suppressing the gases from coming out. It has 2 functions. One is to cut down on recoil, which is a good thing, and the other is to cut down on the noise. But here's the thing. It takes the noise down from about 160 decibels, which is dangerous to hearing, to about 120, which is safer for your hearing. So you can defend yourself or shoot at targets or whatever without having to wear ear protection. But it's still louder than a rock concert and still louder than a jackhammer. Don't believe me? Take a listen. This is an AR-15 with a suppressor on it being fired. Now imagine that louder than a heavy metal rock concert, louder than a jackhammer. Would you be able to hear that from the second floor? I think you would.
What is going on?
Thank you for explaining the silence.
Where is this country going?
Yeah, where is this country going where ignorant morons like you get airtime to spread around misinformation in order to give people an excuse to infringe on our sovereign rights as human beings?
You know, if it was about, hey, what can I do to help Chicago?
Or how about, even better, how can we set Chicagoans free to help themselves, to be able to defend themselves from the armed thugs?
I believe everybody's parents said to them, don't lie.
Yes.
If you hear a lie, recognize
you know
a lie.
what?
Well, I've been hearing lies. I've been recognizing them. Maybe you'd better point that finger back at yourself, Whoopi.
Who loves him? I'll tell you who loves Donald Trump. Rich people.
If rich people love Donald Trump, how come so many of them voted for Hillary? And how come so many poor people voted for Trump?
Because today the Dow hit 20,000 points, which is the highest ever.
Yeah.
Oh boy, yeah, it's the highest ever. Imagine that. Something that tends to grow steadily is at its highest point. The number of videos on this channel is now the highest it's ever been. The number of years YouTube has been around is now the highest it's ever been. Yes, the Dow has its ups and downs, but generally, unless you're in a recession, the Dow's going to keep going up and it's going to hit these record highs, which don't really mean anything. And neither do these idiots on The View constantly talking about things without even doing basic research. Maybe now you're seeing why we're pointing at mainstream outlets and calling them the fake news. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, why not hit like and subscribe? And to make sure I can keep producing content, support this channel by becoming a patron. And check out all the other great content here, like this video selected especially for you.